Hey guys, it's Coach Smith. I wanted to take some time to make a short video about the main topic we're going to be discussing for this 9-week. That topic is self-esteem. Now, before we get into all of this, please know that your self-esteem is important as far as anything you decide to do in life, whether it's as a child, playing on a sports team, or as an adult, you want to be an attorney, you want to be president, whatever the case is. Your self-esteem is going to play a role in everything you decide to do later on in life as well as today. What is self-esteem? There are a multitude of definitions out there on what self-esteem is, but one I like to settle on or focus on revolves around your confidence in your abilities to successfully complete a task, okay? Or it can also be determined as self-respect. How do you view yourself? Not taking into account how others might view you, but how do you view yourself and your abilities? Do you have that confidence that is needed to be successful in life and to have that confidence to be a good student and all those things that go along with it? Where does your self-esteem come from? Self-esteem begins to form, for the most part, as soon as you were born. Okay? Think about the newborn child who comes into the world and knows absolutely nothing except that fluid-filled environment that it just came out of. It might be able to hear dull sounds while it's inside the mother's uterus or whatever the case is, but for the most part, it knows absolutely nothing about life. Okay? Now, when the baby is born, all of a sudden, it is completely dependent on its mother or whomever becomes a caregiver. That caregiver is supposed to provide that child with warmth, provide them with food, make sure they're cleaned and changed, provide them with love. And that child is going to sense whether or not it is loved. There have been some stories, some studies done over the years where scientists will evaluate different children. They will monitor a child that is not receiving any type of human attention, definitely not receiving love. They're receiving the basics. They receive food, water, and shelter. But the other child that they're watching receives food, water, shelter. They're being loved, they're being hugged, they're being kissed. There's interaction, human interaction. And when you compare the two together, the child that receives the human interaction and the food, the warmth, and the shelter, that child is thriving while the other child is surviving. Okay? So all of that makes a difference. So suffice it to say that self-esteem begins at home, or whomever caregiver there is in the picture. Whomever that caregiver is the first teacher for that child and helps to develop that child's self-esteem. Okay? If that child is taken care of, hugged, loved, kissed, played with, all those sorts of things, that child's self-esteem, self-confidence begins to form. Okay? All of that is very important. Why is it important? I mentioned in my opening that it is important because it determines your abilities, your confidence in your abilities to complete tasks, how you view yourself. Okay? If you have low self-esteem, you will struggle in relationships. More than likely, you will not be a good student because you have no confidence, or you feel as if I'm not going to be successful at this anyway, so why am I even trying? Okay? Everybody has this little voice inside their heads that some call it your subconscious, but that little voice is talking to you as you are going through life. And that voice can be positive, that voice can be negative. if you have poor self-esteem, that voice will be negative because it will tell you what you cannot do. A person who has high self-esteem, that voice is going to be positive. Okay? That voice will be positive. It will be reassuring that child that, hey, you can do this. Even if you fail at something, that voice is going to be positive and say something along the lines of, well, you weren't successful this time. Maybe next time you should try doing it this way. Okay? So that little voice is always around as far as that goes. As far as your self-esteem and a career, going along those lines, again, if you have high self-esteem, you're not afraid to take chances. You're likely going to be a good student, and if a person is a good student, that leads to college. It leads to a successful career, more than likely. It leads to a successful marriage, a successful family life, more than likely. Now, there are always going to be exceptions to every rule, but more than likely, you have a better chance of having a successful career, family life, and all those sorts of things. Okay? I just wanted to stop and give you a quick overview of self-esteem and what we're going to be talking about the next few days. So stay tuned. There will be more to follow, and I'm also going to be posting assignments relating to this video and some upcoming videos that I have. Take care.